Jonathan is having a housewarming party.
Wow!
Unfortunately, there will be some surprise guests. Ghoulies. They'll get you in the end.
Rated PG-13.
What's up, Rotters? Welcome back to the podcast that takes a deep dive into the best and worst horror films of the 80s and 90s. I'm Stevie, your VHS veteran. I hope you're all doing horrendously. I'm so in spooky season, it's ridiculous. I am pouring pumpkin spice syrup into everything I eat and drink, and I'm wearing a thick knit jumper even though it is still 18 degrees outside. I absolutely love it. Over on Patreon, Matt Draper and I have just released our 5th episode of our new ongoing series, Future Fright, where we round up new and upcoming horror movies in a nice little succinct, spoiler-free package. The lovely people at companies like Shudder and Amazon have given us early access to upcoming releases, and so we're checking them out and letting you know what films to shag, marry, or avoid. We are about to cover the wonderful Grimfest festival here in the UK. I didn't need to say festival, it's called Grimfest. And our coverage for that will be over a few episodes starting the first week of October. Lots of autumnal fun, my friends. So just head to patreon.com/Stevie's Brainrot to join in. Today, we're heading back to 1985 and to one of the movies that started this wonderful journey of horror for me. It's Charles Band's Ghoulies. If you're a kid of the 80s, just the title alone is guaranteed to conjure the image of that little green imp popping up out of the toilet. The teaser commercial that was shown on TV featuring this short little vignette, it caused an uproar with disgruntled parents who reported that their children were too scared to use the toilet, resulting in bedwetting across the land. Fantastic stuff. Back for his 756th appearance on the pod is the ever-hilarious Cody Jamison Strand. After we completed the entire Critters franchise over on Patreon, I decided to introduce him to some more little sharp-toothed bastards, and we agreed to carry on with the Ghoulies franchise over on Patreon too, just like Critters. So, it's time. Lift the lid and take a seat. CJS is back in the house, bitch.
That's me. Hi, how are you? Been a long time.
It has, hasn't it? It has been a little while.
Yeah.
But I, I listened to the fans and just didn't allow you back on for a while. But I've decided now. Do you know what?
Their eardrums deserve.
This is my show. I'm not going to listen to them. They've said, do not get that child back.
Do
But I do.
He's loud. His voice is grating. I don't want to hear what Harvey Firestein would have sounded like had he not had the vocal trauma. We don't want this.
Yeah. I don't want the neighbours banging on the wall just because I'm listening to a podcast. How are you? Seriously, though.
I'm wonderful. It's been a banger of a year. We're back at work and we're living our lives, you know?
Yeah. And we might as well jump in. For anyone who doesn't know, like, your relationship with horror, just go back. You've been on this loads, but we might as well jump in because this is a big one for me, Ghoulies. This was very formative for me as a child, and I think everyone, even though it's a B movie, everyone kind of knows what Ghoulies is, whether you've seen it or not, right?
Yeah. Well, I've never seen it. So
that's
what?
Crazy.
I've never seen it, but when I would peruse the VHS rental section of the grocery store, I'm dating myself, I would see that little green thing in a toilet, the VHS cover, everywhere. And so I knew Ghoulies. When you said Ghoulies, I was like, oh, it's that little green thing in the toilet.
Yeah.
but I'd never seen it. And I don't think I was ready for this fever dream.
Right? And it's crazy. Every time I watch it, I forget that the first one is really not about the Ghoulies. It's like you've got zombies, you've got medieval little people, you've got
so crazy. It is. It has everything. What is that?
Yes.
That SNL thing? It has everything.
Everything.
It has medieval. Yeah, it has
little people.
It has
zombies.
Yeah.
What else do you want? Yeah, it's so crazy. And this is something I brought this up recently on a different episode, but now that we're talking about it. So did you know that ghoulies, the word, is a euphemism in the UK for testicles?
No.
Right. So this was like why it really worked over here. It was quite a big hit because the tagline in the US, I think this was Ghoulies too. The tagline in the US was Ghoulies, they'll get you in the end. As in, and that's a double entendre because it's a ghoulie coming out of the toilet. So it'll get you eventually, but also it'll get you in the end, like your end, your ass. But then in the UK, it was Ghoulies, they'll get yours too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
That's funny. You know, part of me thinks I vaguely remember, but maybe it was a sequel. I thought it was this one, the little green thing popping out of a toilet and like chomping on a guy's penis.
That does happen.
Okay, but I didn't see that happen in this one. Well, there was just everything else that could have happened in this one.
And they had to put that in because it's really random. You'll notice that shot is like nowhere. It's in a black abyss. It's just a toilet, and then the ghoulie pops out.
It's so weird.
And that's because, so Charles Band, who produced this, so he set up Empire Pictures, who were beloved to me back in the day. And this is because of the home video market. And he wanted to make independent horror because that makes money. And he'd done a film called Parasite, starring Demi Moore. Not the Oscar-winning one.
Oh, right.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
We know this movie.
No, not that Parasite. No, this is back in, I think, 82, called Parasite, and it had Demi Moore, and the lead of it, the lead actor, was this guy called Luca Bertovici, who is the director of Ghoulies.
Oh, okay.
But he was like, that did quite well. I want to build a company that produces horror films and then distribute through Vestron. And so Ghoulies was like about the second or third film, and it was a huge hit. And there's always this conversation going around because we've done every single Critters film, you and I. So there's Critters, Ghoulies, Gremlins, Hobgoblins, and Munchies. So these are like the five.
You always give me the little bitey creatures.
Yes, even with Uninvited. That's
I'm feeling a little targeted, to be honest.
What am I saying?
Typecast as a little bitey creature,
A little vicious, sharp. But there's the conversation around what was first is really like every decade there's a new story, and apparently Ghoulies. So Gremlins apparently was written first, but went into production after Ghoulies and Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
Gremlins and Ghoulies were in production at the same time, but then Ghoulies had to stop production for a while because of money, and so therefore Gremlins was released first. And because Gremlins came out, it looks like the rest are all copycats. I do think it's a little bit coincidental that everyone suddenly thought of this at the same time. I kind of think you heard Gremlins was... it's Steven Spielberg's putting this big little monster film together. It's going to be
of course, we're going to bandwagon. But I feel like that's also like Hollywood's thing, Like you had like Armageddon, who's like, oh, there's this massive meteorite movie, and then it was like Meteorite Deep Impact, meteorite movies everywhere, it's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, 2012 came out. Here's Day After Tomorrow with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like the same idea.
And it's not like these things are overnight. There's planning, so people hear when something's in the pipeline.
Oh, for sure.
It takes a while to get it together. But Ghoulies, I think Ghoulies 2 for me. I actually have a replica of the fish ghoulie, they call it, which is the little green one, which in Ghoulies 2 they kind of upgraded it because they made a lot of money, and this funded a lot of Empire's films. Actually, it did really well.
That's fascinating.
And they upgraded all the puppets, so they're a bit better. Like the fish ghoulie has this sort of reptilian tail on its back and spine. It's super cool, but this has so much charm. But every time, as I said, I revisit this, I'm like, this is never what I expect. It's crazy.
And they were swinging for the fences. They were swinging for the fences.
Right?
My favorite ghoulie was that one Garfield-looking one with the big eyes.
The cat ghoulie.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. Yeah, so they're all based on animals. So there's rat ghoulie, cat ghoulie, fish ghoulie, bat ghoulie. You see at one point. Just
One
like...
fish, two fish, green fish, blue fish. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. It's crazy. Let's get into it a little bit
Oh my
more.
God.
So, can I have... You've got a few synopses, I'm
I do.
assuming.
I do. Yeah.
Do we say synopsises or synopses? What's the right... You've got a twitch.
I don't know. My brain. I would say
I saw that.
synopses.
Yeah.
Let's
sure.
go on record.
Synopses.
Synopses.
Okay. Let's have him.
The first one I thought of was not quite the future Spanky had in mind for the Little Rascals.
Nice.
Spanky. And then the other one I thought of was this is what would happen if Walter Mercado's cult ever got off the ground.
Wait.
You know who Walter Mercado is?
No.
He was a guy. You have to look him up later. Because like the villain, it's Walter Mercado. He was like a fortune teller, horoscope, wizard guy that was like huge in the Latin scene, like in the 90s. Huge. Right. Huge. Alexis Mateo did him a drag race for
oh, I know
Testing.
Exactly who you mean now.
Yeah.
And he's coiffed and really like
Yes. And then the last one I said, the only thing you truly need to fear are demons, old houses, and your undead gay wizard father.
Right. Well, yes, I'm so glad you picked up on that because
how could I not?
All he wants to do is kiss boys.
My favorite line. I had to stop the movie and write it down. Kiss me, my son. Kiss me. Kiss your father.
But he's like, he means kiss me, doesn't he? Because, you know, the other guy, when he transforms into a cougar, like a sexy cougar. I don't mean like an attractive mountain lion. I mean like, you know, the female cougar. And then he lures in the guy Dick. And he kisses him. And then Dick, lures in Dick. Hey, we've all done it. Yeah. And then wraps the tongue around and then reveals himself post-kiss. And I thought, well, this guy can make shit happen with his mind because he blows the windows open, the doors open on their own. So he doesn't need to disguise himself to trap this guy. He can do whatever he wants. So the only reason for him to turn into a woman is purely so that he can get a kiss before he kills him.
Oh, for sure.
He's totally... I like it. I mean, it's not, you know...
This is the gay agenda.
Queer-coded. It's just, yes.
This is the gay agenda. 100%. This is the gay agenda that the Republicans have been warning us about.
Yeah, that's it. It's happening.
Is it.
It's spreading. They're doing it. Those shape-shifting gays.
Those shape-shifting homosexuals.
With their big, long, flappy tongues.
They'll catch you. They catch you in a dark alley and they swoop you in like a toad.
Oh, speaking of Toad. Toad Boy?
I forgot about Toad Boy.
Speaking of Toad.
I forgot about Toad Boy.
He's not okay.
Okay, there's a lot that's not okay about this.
But it's like he should be monitored.
Committed. What?
Wow.
Committed.
Spell that.
Can't. You can't even say it again. Can't even pronounce it. Oh my god.
Yeah, but he should be on a list. Well, let's start at the beginning. Because this opening is before the credits. Obviously we see Walter Mercado, as he shall henceforth be known. Is it Walter Mercado?
Walter Mercado.
Yeah. The green eyes.
Gagged. Goose. Are they lenses? They're effects. They have to be like put on, right?
If they were lenses, that would make more sense why it's got the sort of floating pupil. But it's like a pitted olive. Just one, though. Just one. Yeah, why?
There was one that was like a dot up here.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
My thing went off. It was bizarre. I didn't quite understand. Also, okay, so we start in the beginning and we're immediately in a satanic ritual. And I gotta tell you, I'm on board. Okay,
right.
Like we're starting at 100. I'm like, oh, okay, let's
and there's close-ups of Ghoulies' mouths, and you're
like,
oh, what is
like
this?
There's no mystery at all. Like the first shot, I think I thought it was a dog,
like a dog too.
Yeah, my first note was my dumbass thought the first shot was a dog, knowing damn well like what movie we're getting into. But I also was like, so we're at a Satanist. Or not even say we don't even know if it's Satanism, whatever it is. They're drawing things, they're summoning things, and they're gonna kill this baby. And suddenly people have a change of heart.
But it took this long until the baby is on the altar with a blade above it.
Yeah.
It's like, this, she bore it. It's, it's at least 3 months old, maybe.
Yeah, and she says, stop. Why would he?
Well, yeah, at that
He'd be like,
point. And
"No."
he does. He kind of does.
But he's like, oh, okay, I'll stop.
Yes. I don't really know. It seems like bad planning. And she shouldn't be there. But also, what is bursting out of her? Do we ever
Chest
find
burster.
out?
I don't know. Is it another ghoulie?
But we don't see them come out like that
And
again. But also, this was the era of the bladder effect, which everyone loved. And John Cole Beekler, who did the... Yes, so it's when you have a bit of fake skin. Basically, some B-movies often used an actual condom because they wouldn't break. And they just put loads of makeup
You hear
over it
that,
and they'd
guys?
blow it up.
The condom won't break.
Well, there you go. It's the homosexual agenda again, isn't it? But yeah, and so I think they were like, well, we got to get that in there somewhere because I can do it. It's a good effect.
Makes
But-
sense. I mean,
and
it
then
looked
goes,
cool.
Ghoulies. Yeah,
But I was hoping that we would see more of that.
that kind of stuff.
Like,
Anyway,
that's how a ghoulie was born. That would make sense.
yeah, but we never see that again. They kind of just appear in pentagrams and come out of
They
water.
just appear in pentagrams, like every homosexual across the country.
And they're kind of shit, aren't they? Because they're meant to be, throughout this whole thing, they're meant to be the slaves, the sort of assistants to whoever holds the power. And they're not very good
No.
at doing much.
No.
They kind of get in the way quite a lot. Why is one in a toilet?
Yeah.
Why is one in a tree?
One can fly, I guess.
Yeah, but does nothing. And the best way for them to hurt someone is only if someone throws one of them at another person.
Right.
That's like...
Or like gets the jump on them in the water or something.
Yes, right. Yeah, it has to be really specific. They just don't seem that essential.
Or effective. Because they only
No.
got like 2 people, I think.
Yeah, right.
And it was the fish
And
ones.
yeah, and that's because someone was an inch away from the water with their face.
Yeah.
And the other one gets thrown at someone. It's like, Ghoulie, go! Go, Gadget Ghoulie.
Go, I choose you, ghoulie. Like,
Really shit Pokemon.
literally. Yeah.
You have to throw them. Then we get the credits, and so the baby is all grown up, and then he's our
Yeah, we
lead.
got that because of the weird intermittent narration that would show up every once in a while, which I'm assuming is this Wolfgang character.
I can only assume that because sometimes you go, this is an afterthought because they need exposition. He goes, seems like the evil is now taking over him.
I love
if
it.
only I could stop it.
I'm obsessed with this Wolfgang character because he doesn't
Right?
show up like and do anything until the end, but he just like stares at the camera.
But
for-
that's what's kind of crazy as well, is we meet him very briefly and he takes the baby. And then we see him waking up at some point because he's the caretaker all these years later. I don't know why he's immortal. I guess he's a wizard too. But he saves the day at the end. And it's kind of an anticlimax because it's not a character we've been with and invested in for an entire 90 minutes.
Yeah,
He just rocks up and then, they have an electricity off.
a
and
wizard
disappears.
battle.
Yes.
Gay
Which is-
wizards are at it again.
Yeah, which is just hands on each other's shoulders.
Oh my god.
Woo! So what do you think of this, our main couple? Is it Rebecca and...
Jonathan.
Yes.
Jonathan as an actor, I feel like he's either not giving anything or he is giving everything.
When it comes to the rituals...
Yeah, that's what he did in the audition room, and they're like, this is our guy. But you have to ask him to say, honey, I love you. And he's like a wooden board,
Yes.
Also, this is the thing I love about these older movies, too, is that everyone looks suspiciously young.
What do you mean?
Like, they're not kids. Those are not young people. The only one that's young is Mariska Hargitay, Well,
Well,
I was
yeah,
like,
these-
especially this Dick character. I'm like, who's this old guy creeping on these kids?
Yeah, he is mid-40s. And also when Jonathan's dad is resurrected, he's older than his dad.
For sure. But also, like, what would be your first hint that maybe this is not the home for me? You walk up and there's a tombstone with a
Great.
pentagram engraved inside of it. Be like, maybe some spooky shit was going on here.
Right. His dad was British. He's American. So is this? I was going to say, is this like has he inherited this estate in England? But I thought no, because everyone else is American. Yeah. They wouldn't have brought their friends with them. Hey, I've inherited. Let's move to England.
I don't know. It kind of felt like a choice that this actor made to like make him more wizardly. It's like, let me guys. I have a bag full of accents. I'll give him one.
Yes, Malcolm Graves. Yeah, I suppose he is. He's like I'm the Christopher Lee character.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that's what he's going for.
That's what it felt like, a flavor.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, as we say, they invite all their the most annoying people. Every single one of them. People? Why do they hang out with these people?
Who are these friends? Who are they?
Like the stoner guy, the main druggy guy. Like when he's break dancing, and I'm using inverted commas there, on the floor, and everyone's surrounding and cheering. But it's like it's a medical emergency. He's fitting. He's not having a breakdance, and everyone's going.
He landed on his head.
Yeah. It's bad. He's hemorrhaging inside. It's like when Tommy Cooper died. Everyone thought he was joking. He died on stage, collapsed, and everyone started going ha 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 ha, clapping, and he's not getting up. And a hand comes from behind the curtain, drags his dead body, back through the curtain, and everyone's cheering and laughing. It's like that. This isn't a medical emergency.
That's how I want to go.
Right. But that's the thing with Tommy Cooper. He absolutely went how he wanted to.
Wow.
Anyway, that's depressing.
R.I.P. Tommy Cooper. Ledge.
Yes. This happens quickly, though, with Jonathan Wright, with everything taking over him, because they're like, what should we do? Should we play charades, strip poker? He goes, how about a mystic ritual? Like every party.
It's like, that'd be my time. That would be my time to leave the party. It's not like a cute thing. Like, hey, I have this Ouija board. It's like, I've seen these movies.
Yes.
Hey, everyone stand in this circle while I draw chalk and pentagram around you and read from this crusty old book. Like, no.
But not even read. He's already memorized it.
Yeah, he's already off book. No, I'm out of there.
He's off book.
Like, leave Toad Boy. Leave Toad Boy down there. Have fun with Toad Boy, and I'm out.
What is Toad Boy's purpose? What is his? Why is
to creep on Mariska Hargitay?
What does he represent? Because he's constantly saying, "I'm so depressed," or like, "I'm really upset,"
or doing that weird
cheers
voice.
Himself up with the voice, like you go, "Oh, ladies' tummy, tum tum hoo."
Could you imagine?
It's not okay.
It's weird, and also the idea of Goddess Mariska Hargitay giving that any kind of time.
Right, yeah.
I want to superimpose a cut of her from Law and Order SVU giving her horrified cry face while Toad Boy's talking.
It's not okay.
No, he needs help. This is a cry for help. Toad Boy is deranged.
Ill.
Yeah. Toad Boy.
When Jonathan's in, we get the voiceover going, he's summoning the evil now. And I go, okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks, Wolfgang. And he's calling upon something, but he says, I call upon you, Payman. And
does he really? I didn't catch that.
And that's
a devil.
And that's from Hereditary. That's who they're summoning in Hereditary. And I like to think this is canon.
Hereditary 2 is just going to be with Ghoulies.
Yes. But yeah, I like to think this is prequel. Yeah. But he does, he summons, first of all, when they all leave, it's the rat ghoulie. What do you think of these? Let's talk about them. What do you think of them? Because I fucking love them. You can see the seams.
Oh, for sure. And sometimes I even clocked the puppeteers in the shots.
Right. Fantastic.
There was, I'm not entirely sure if the first ghoulie was actually there. It looked like they imposed it into the shot with the effect.
Yeah.
But
because it almost looked vertical flat.
Yes.
Yes.
But I will say, I love the designs. It's definitely so bad it's good.
Yes.
Because I'm like, this is a puppet. They went up and they went with some water to give it some gooey look, and I'm on board with it. My favorite one was whatever was that clown one that they never really explained. But I thought that was actually a kind of good scare.
Yeah, well, I thought they were going to do a Critters where, suddenly they revealed there's one giant one.
Right.
Because, its eyes, first of all, that life-size fucking clown is not okay.
Again,
I don't know why that's in that
sign
house.
to leave the house. You walk in and it's sitting in a rocking chair.
Of all things.
No, looking at the bed. No, ma'am.
But that moment is probably a proper creepy moment, isn't it? Because its eyes just green googe. Googe?
Not googe.
Gooch. No.
Not green googe. Not gooch.
Wait.
Not gooch. Not green gooch.
That was ooze and guns, I think.
Green goose.
Green googe.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the hand that rips through.
Oh, yeah, no.
It looks like it's going to be scary. But as you say, we don't see that again. It's kind of like a cactus. With
It's
eyes.
got a little aloe vera. It's just aloe. Okay, we have to talk about another thing. So, like, the summoning circle fails, right? And the friends disperse for their evenings.
Mm-hmm.
Were you getting more homo vibes from those stoners?
The two stoners, they are definitely queer-coded.
Absolutely. Because they're in the bedroom with that freaky clown and being like, oh, she's not in here. Like, I thought, and then they went into the closet and looked in the closet like, oh, she's not in here.
Yeah,
like, I was like,
they even make a comment about, let's check the closet.
I know. I was like,
I know what you're doing.
yeah, I know what you're doing in that closet. But then the clown was in the closet.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Of
He
course
just wanted
it
in
is.
too. He just wanted in on it too.
Yeah, they definitely are, because they're inseparable. They're into drugs. Not that homosexuality and drugs are mutually exclusive, but you know. And it's that bit for me when they're like, they found a quiet little spot and they're under the window.
Yes.
And they're like,
And
they're
just
both
giggling.
stoned and they're giggling, but with an unlit. What are they called? Those cigarette drugs?
Cigarette drugs?
Yeah.
What are they called, those cigarette drugs?
It's been a while.
Those cigarette... And then you said spiff? Spliff?
What?
Spliff?
Spliff. Yes.
That's a
spliff.
British thing.
What? What
We
do
don't
you call
use
them
spliff.
then? Joint.
Yeah, joint.
A joint.
Or
Oh,
like,
yes.
oh, it's like you roll a doobie.
Oh, no.
You
You can't say that.
Roll a doobie? That's another thing.
But, I mean...
Roll
no,
a joint? Roll
you
a
can't
doobie?
say- yeah, a doobie, though. That's...
Is that something else?
No, it's just a bit like rapper, isn't it?
No!
Is it not?
No! Roll a doobie?
Yeah, we say a spliff.
The sticky icky?
Okay.
I'm
that
just
again?
throwing out names that I've heard before.
Okay, yeah, but I think we would say a spliff. Or a zoot.
You made that up.
No, I swear. This was after my time now. This is after my time because I know that the kids nowadays say,
Not the
"Oh yeah,
kids.
it's great if you watch it and just I know." But someone said to me recently, "Have you done that Black Mirror episode where you choose the outcome?" And I was like, "Bandersnatch, yes." And they were, "Oh yeah, it's so good if you like do it before just after you've had a zoot." And I was like, "Oh what? Oh, a zoot?" And yeah, so a zoot.
That's
I
how
don't know.
fun.
I don't know the etymology of it, but
Who cares? That's fun.
cute, right?
Zoot.
zoot.
That feels like a fun nickname for like a rascal, like a troublemaker.
Oh, you little zoot.
He always pulls pranks on the class. Like
Yes.
last year he put a cow on the roof of the school, like that kind of a thing.
What a zoot.
Yeah, what is it? Oh my god. Ow! Then our lead guy drops out of college.
Yes, I love her concern though. She's like, this seems sudden. So you inherit a house and go, do you know what? I'm gonna clean instead of learn.
Right, but he's not dropping out to do anything. He's like, I'm gonna drop out to take care of this house. Not like I'm gonna drop out I'm gonna remodel the house and we're gonna flip it and sell it.
Sell it. Yeah, right.
You know, like
no,
that's
I'm gonna clean it.
And she's like, honey, I don't think that's a good idea. And then when he cleans it, she's like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like,
yeah. But then also, I think she is kind of like, oh yeah, you did a good job. But then when she catches him
in 4K, bitch.
In the bed.
She catches him in 4K after he just summoned rain and lightning.
Right.
And he's like, babe, I can explain. She's like...
But she acts like she's caught him cheating.
Oh, yeah.
It's not terror. Like, why is it raining downstairs?
Yeah, one.
And why are you wearing a cloak? And why are you stood with your arms out screaming at the ceiling?
Yeah,
Like,
he's soaking
she's
wet
like,
like this, speaking
"Soaking."
Latin.
Right.
And I'm like, honey, maybe you're missing some red flags. Because she also stays through.
She puts up with a lot.
I know. I'm saying he must be good in bed or something, because that would not be me. That could not be me. He's soaking wet, speaking Latin in the basement. Like,
yeah, he's not.
I don't know about this man. With the spear in one hand, like.
Oh, that cardboard
He's got
spear.
a cardboard spear.
And he talks to him and goes, "You are a good tool."
Yes. Because he summons these creatures, and he now they're like bound to his will, right? Didn't he has like a whole thing?
Well, that's a thing, but we do find out, because just after this, he then summons two medieval little people,
Which
who,
is
at the end, just decide, actually, no, I'm not going to follow you, I'm going to betray you. So they're not actually bound by a spell.
I wonder, yeah, because it's like, okay, we'll follow you until you resurrect the big guy, and then we follow him, kind of
Jump
thing.
ship. So this is a moment I forget when these two appear.
Are they in any of the other ones?
No, not that I remember.
I mean-
No, I think the next one, if I remember correctly, Ghoulies 2 is just all about the Ghoulies, and it's at a fun fair. They're just causing havoc.
Which I think is the right move.
Yeah. And I don't understand this whole thing, because he's like, "Oh, I'm going to test you. Stand back to back and drink from the floating chalice, and you'll burn if you're worthy." And I don't quite know what
That
happened.
I didn't quite get that either. Then they can summon, or they can make the cup float. If they drank from it, then they can escape the pentagram circle. Is that the idea?
kind of what he was saying, but he didn't do that with the Ghoulies. I don't...
Right. I thought that's the part where the script got a little
goes off.
confused. Just then, though, because I was watching. I literally didn't take any notes because I don't have.
Well,
any
what
notes for
are
this.
you gonna say? It's not like you can write down a narrative at this point, because then they've got the big dinner and they're all in sunglasses. And so, well, you assume, because he's got the pitted olive eyes now, because he's evil, he's got green eyes, so you assume he's
Right.
covering his, and he said, like, "Hey, let's have a sunglasses dinner."
So no one sees his eyes.
Yes.
And I know that everyone's like, I can't see a thing because they all have, but they're just wearing sunglasses. They're not wearing like bandanas.
But that's the thing as well, yeah. So they've got sunglasses on, and Ghoulies burst out of the mashed potato, by the way, mushroom dip does not sound nice.
No.
They come out of all of the food. Nobody at the table sees them because they have sunglasses on. And sunglasses famously just stop it being as bright. They don't blind you.
I don't know if you know this, but sunglasses.
Can you imagine if sunglasses were just blinded you?
I don't think they'd be as big of an accessory.
I don't think they would have taken off.
No. It's like, and also like the Ghoulies are making noise.
That's the other thing. They don't blind and deafen you, definitely.
Right. They're making noise. And like the one of the thing is like in the bowl, the punch bowl of whatever that is, the green one.
That's
and I'm
the
like,
mushroom dip, yeah.
Oh, that's no. What are
There's a lot
they
of
didn't even
that.
have any chips.
I know. I don't know what they're dipping. That's hilarious. Yeah, it doesn't make
But
sense why
this
they can't hear
dinner
them.
scene is where the movie turns into an absolute fever dream because he starts casting spells, right?
Right.
They eat the food, and I'm assuming that makes them fall under his power or something, because he like stands up and he's like, "Immunit Setna!" Like whatever he says. That's the mummy.
Active Dr. Farukas! Oh no, that's Street Fighter.
He says something.
Ryuken!
And everyone like stands up and like he's like, "Baya!" And the table disappears, and then they're all getting like sacrificed.
They're in sacks. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, the originally this was going to be a 3D movie, and they did 2 weeks of filming preparing for it to be 3D. And basically, the plan when you watched it was, whenever characters in the film wear sunglasses, you put on your 3D glasses, and then that whole section would be 3D. And when they take them off, you take them off. So that's kind of why the real reason why there's a lot of sunglasses wearing in this. And then they scrapped it. They were like, "This is too hard."
That tracks, actually.
because Parasite, Charles Band's one that he'd done before this, that was 3D, and that was kind of moderate hit. So, but yeah, they gave up on that. So that's the
sense.
real reason that they've got those. But yeah, so he's got full power now, and
he's
also,
flying. He's defying gravity
yeah.
in the dining room, and it's all to raise his dad from the dead. But does he even know that it's his father?
This is another thing. I don't know if he knows he's raising his father. He's just doing things by impulse, because with the voiceover says, "Oh, it's the evil
draws
got him. Yes,
Yeah.
it's drawing him in." And then you get a full-on zombie.
Walter Mercado.
Walter Mercado, but
With
British.
makeup coming and going, depending on the day they filmed.
That changes dramatically.
It's amazing.
Sometimes it's just like a couple of bruises, and then sometimes it's open wounds.
The more he got the people, then he would get his youth back. But that theory went out the window quick.
Full on black flame candle stuff.
Yeah.
And he's doing all sorts of shit, like blowing the doors in.
And making an entrance.
But I know no one comes running to see what happened.
No, the glass doors explode, and he comes in flowing robes, like, "I'm home," and everyone's just in their own little corner. No one heard the giant explosion.
And that's when he turns into because Dick's just had sex.
Oh yeah, and as soon as he's had it, it's curtains.
Yes, until he sees the lady downstairs with the
Right.
tongue.
That's what I mean. Like, as soon as he's had sex, his whole point of his character is
done.
Yeah. It's like, and he's gonna get. But he left that poor girl up there with that clown.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That watched everything. That's why the clown goes in on her. He's like, "I saw what you did. I saw what you did."
My name's Clown, but you can call me Clown.
My name is Dick, but you can call me Dick. I'm like,
I kind of love that.
I was like, I have a feeling that line might have been improvised.
It's the little people. They cast the spell on the wife lady.
Yep.
So they have powers, but then they also resort to throwing a ghoulie at the stoner.
Right, and they hit him in the head with a club.
Yes. Yeah, they knock out a ghoulie. They're on the same team.
It's so confusing. So they knock the one guy out to lure a ghoulie in. And then they stand on top of each other like big people in the
like
trench
little
coat.
Rascals.
Yeah, like little rascals in the trench coat. And then they turn around and they throw the ghoulie at the guy to chew his face. It's genius.
And then we have the father and son moment. I wrote, why is he British?
Why is he British?
Why is he asking for a kiss?
From his son.
But it's the way he's saying it. It's not like... Well, I don't think I don't know. I don't think any father would say, "Give me a kiss."
Not like that. And certainly not on the mouth.
Gosh.
Give me a mouth kiss. Mouth kiss your dad.
Oh, God. The daddy issues he's gonna... He probably already does.
Probably. He never knew his father.
Well, can I ask something? What's the time...
Okay.
I wonder... what's the timeline between what we saw at the beginning and his father dying and him inheriting his father's estate? Because his father has clearly been buried for a while, but not... It seems really medieval at the beginning, is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, they have that weird medieval basement.
Well, I suppose it's that. And then... So is he freshly dead? And that's why his body's only just started to decompose?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like he would have died recently if the son is inheriting the house. But I also don't feel like they filed all their paperwork. Because if he kidnapped the son, wouldn't he want to disappear? Or was Wolfgang hey...
Wait. If the baby from the beginning is his son, who is now old Jonathan...
Which is what I was thinking.
Yes,
the vibe
it
I
is.
was getting.
So that means the father must have died very soon after that because he's still preserved as young.
You see, you're thinking about this. This is your first mistake.
Do you see what I mean, though?
Yeah. This is your first mistake.
Do you see what I mean? It would suggest that his zombie would look like he did when he died, which was the same age, not 20 years later. Oh my God. I just want a little clarity about the timeline.
Right. It's not like, did we discover that the wizard can steal youth and that's why he was always young?
Uh-huh. Well, how did he die as well?
It said a horrific death.
Did
that
it
was
say
in
that?
one of those. It was in one of those narrations.
Oh, is it the voiceover?
Yeah, it was one of those Wolfgang moments. That was like right after the credits in the beginning. It was like the father died and the son inherited the evil.
Well, yeah, clearly they don't know how to piece things together because they don't know how to end this fucking film either.
Oh,
Because Wolfgang
no.
rocks up in a Merlin cloak.
Yeah, and
that's
he's
when they have
old.
their-
So that's why I see what you
Right!
mean about the confusing storyline.
Yes.
Because he's old as hell now. But he showed up and he's like, I guess he's been practicing for 50 years because he couldn't stand up
Waiting.
to the guy before, but now he's ready to throw hands with a wizard
Right.
that was just raised from the dead. Like, that would be my last.
Mm-hmm. But it can only be, 20 years? Because it's however old Jonathan is.
Yeah, but he might be older than 20.
No, he is. Oh, God's sake.
Yeah, and they
as
start
I said,
throwing lightning bolts and they're Wingardium Leviosaing all over the place. Well, doesn't he throw the spear at him? He like
Yes.
hits him with the spear.
But as I said, it feels anticlimactic because it's like, how come he saves the day and we don't really know who this is?
But
And they
does he?
disappear.
They just vanish. They go
Well,
to
yeah.
another plane of existence, I guess.
To fight it out.
The shadow realm.
Like, if I want a wizard battle, I want it like the end of Sword in the Stone. Like,
Yeah.
fully, like turning into different creatures, all that sort of shit, not just the hands on shoulders. Because
choking
then it's
each
like,
other out with thunder
everyone's like,
powers.
oh, that's over. No one seems to have suffered any trauma. Actually, one bit I really did love, which I thought was creepy as fuck, is all the bodies crawling to him, like using
That
their
was cool.
shoulders and.
And I was like, oh, Dick actually, he's got some contortionist abilities because he was like,
He was doing it.
yeah.
But yeah, everyone's fine.
Like the girl broke her neck down a set of stairs.
Yes.
She
And
she gets up and she's like, oh, let's get out of here,
Death
honey.
becomes her.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
You pushed me down the stairs. Can you imagine? But she's forgiven all of his demonic obsession as well.
Yeah,
She's
you
like,
know-
let's go.
She has more power than I because I would have not said, get out and stay out.
Are they? But they're not all in the car. That's what's confusing as well.
No, they
It's
get in
just
2
Jonathan
cars.
and her. Oh,
And
do
it's-
they? I didn't.
Yeah,
see
they
that.
got in 2 cars and drove off. But the stoner got in their car.
Their
Why
car?
is he there?
Why aren't the two stoners together?
You know why
They've
he's
fallen
there.
out.
You know why he's there.
What?
He's to hide the puppeteers.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So
it is.
they needed a body to sit in the middle with his
Break
arms
it up.
outstretched so that the ghoulies could show up so they could have puppeteers behind them in the car. That's why he's there.
That's it. Of course it is. Yeah, it's a bizarre ending. It kind of leaves you not really knowing what the hell just happened. They don't really round it up.
No. But I did kind of like the ending that, like, oh, the ghoulies are out
Free
in
now.
the world now. They're out.
Yes, I guess so, because
They're in the car.
they,
But also,
yeah,
like,
they haven't really done anything.
they didn't make the ghoulies particularly threatening in this movie either.
No, they are in the second one.
I mean, not that they, like, need to be, I guess, but, like, I want to
It's
see
called
some, like,
Ghoulies. Blood.
something.
There's no blood in this, I don't think.
No, there's barely any. I mean, there's a little when the Walter Mercado gets his tongue wrapped around the guy's neck, and then like some
Oh, yeah,
blood
yeah.
comes out of there. But
Yeah, true.
I said, gave him. What did I say? I had a good joke. It was a BJ joke. It's not important.
Let's just pretend you said it. I'm sure.
Wait,
it's
we
great.
didn't talk about them having sex, and he's drawn pentagrams under the bed,
Oh yeah, that is.
and she
the
stayed
definition.
with him. This is Rosemary's Baby.
And it's the little rat one underneath.
Yes!
Them.
Yeah, no.
I say in October we do Ghoulies 2.
I'm in. I'm ready for.
Did you know there are 4 of these films? So
I
there's
had
Ghoulies
no
2.
idea.
Mhm. So
It's
Ghoulies
critters
2,
all over again.
which I know, which goes in more into the comedy realm.
Good.
And the I think I remember some subtitles. There's some one-liners from the Ghoulies, like "oh fuck" and all that sort of stuff. The stuff we
Great.
like in Critters. Ghoulies 3 is called Ghoulies Go to College.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love
And
that.
It's exactly what you think. The Ghoulies Go to College, and it's hilarious and ridiculous.
Good.
And then Ghoulies 4 does not have any of these Ghoulies in, and it's a weird thing of it's not made by the same people and the rights were up or something like that, and it's kind of joke shop masks with hoods on that don't move, and they are the Ghoulies, and they've got horns. They're like wooden masks, and they are the Ghoulies in this fourth one, which I only saw once, and I don't know how to track it down, but I think, well, we'll see how Ghoulies 2 goes, but yeah.
Oh my God.
So
this movie took me on a journey from start to finish.
yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on it?
Hey, everyone made it out. Satanism never hurt nobody.
Yeah, that's what I've always said.
Yeah, a little pentagram's fine here and there.
Cute. Well, Ghoulies. Thank you.
Ghoulies? Gorlies? The Gorlies?
Tell, because of this amazing setup behind you, are you streaming, twitching again?
I'm streaming on Twitch. Yeah, I play video games Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to noon, American time, East Coast.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wait, shouldn't you be doing it now?
No, I didn't do it today.
Because of
stream.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, where's your Twitch? Is it Cody Strand?
Cody J Strand, yeah, Cody J Strand, and I'm at Cody Cobbler at all my socials.
Sweet. Well, I will see you in spooky season for Ghoulies 2.
Gorlies 2, bitch.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go. Thank you very much once again, Cody Jamison Strand. I'm so glad I had him to talk about that film. That film means a lot to me. Although, as I said, I always forget it's barely about the Ghoulies, that one. But we will be covering Ghoulies 2 over on Patreon in October. Reach out, speak to me, touch me, don't touch me, just write to me. Find me on the socials, on Twitter and Letterboxd, it's Stevie's Brainrot. On Facebook and Instagram, it's BrainrotPod. You can email the pod, steviesbrainrot@gmail.com. And we have new merch starting soon, so that's why the merch shop is shut down, but we've got some very exciting things in store that should be ready by Halloween. Can't wait. Next week, we will be discussing a film from 1981 called The Incubus. Sometimes it's just titled Incubus. And returning for her third time on the podcast will be the lovely Emily Head. It's a very strange film. So I suggest you go and check it out. I can't wait to see you then. All right, Rotters. Toodles.